ovarian reserve is an indicator of how many eggs you have left in order to ovulate and potentially conceive a baby. The best test that we have so far for testing our ovarian reserve is called AMH, and although this test is limited, there does seem to be a correlation between AMH levels and the number of eggs that you have left. So if you've recently been tested for ovarian reserve and you have a low AMH number, don't worry. Treatments aren't your only options, and donor eggs don't have to be your next step. In fact, in this video, I'm going to show you a key distinction that most fertility doctors aren't aware of, and they're definitely not telling you, which will help you take back your power, heal your fertility, increase your chances of conceiving with your own eggs, and ultimately change the trajectory of your fertility journey forever. Hi, welcome back. My name is Stesha if you're new here, and I'm the creator of the revolutionary fertility program called Holistic Fertility Method, where I help women who have been struggling for years trying to conceive, get pregnant with their healthy, happy baby, and ultimately become the mother that they want to be. So if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the movement. Want to know one of the biggest causes of low AMH that has absolutely nothing to do with your egg reserve? The stress, fear, and worry after hearing from your doctor that you are running out of eggs, your only option is IVF, and you might even need donor eggs. Look, I know how devastating it can be to hear this kind of diagnosis. I help my clients through this almost every single day, work through that trauma of hearing that. So if you are feeling devastated after hearing this kind of diagnosis yourself, let me know in the comments so that we can have a heart-to-heart and help you work through this. Because here's the thing, there is so much that we do not know about this AMH test when it comes to ovarian reserve. We're still trying to figure out what it means, how to measure it, and what factors affect this AMH level. So I know that it can seem really intimidating when your doctor is really certain that your eggs are running out and that you need to rush into the next treatment option. The surprising fact is that it takes about 50 years for new research to actually get into med school and get into clinical practice, meaning your doctor might be making recommendations based on research that is 50 years old. Now, this isn't to bash your doctor or anything, but it's important to know that there is new research coming out in fields like epigenetics and psychoneuroimmunology that is really starting to piece together the things that we can do nutritionally, lifestyle, and even mentally and emotionally to not only preserve our egg quantity, but also increase and rejuvenate our egg quality. So if you've been diagnosed with low ovarian reserve and told that you need treatments, but that just isn't sitting well, then you are in the right place. So let's start with how low ovarian reserve is even diagnosed. Currently, we are using a test called AMH. To know more about AMH, when to test for it, how to interpret your results, go ahead and click to this video next, and that's going to go through all the details that you need in order to interpret this test correctly. In short, AMH stands for anti-mullerian hormone, and it's this hormone that is secreted by the antral follicles in the ovary. So it makes sense, this direct relationship with the amount of follicles, essentially the amount of eggs you have, with the amount of hormone. The more eggs you have, the more hormone. The less eggs you have, the less hormone. So it absolutely makes sense why your doctor wants to stay ahead of this and make sure that you have plenty of time to conceive. Here's the issue with that though. When testing for AMH, the entire context is not given to you as the patient. So you might see your lab results that show a very low ovarian reserve or even tending towards the lower side. And your doctor could say something like, you're running out of time, you have no eggs left, or your eggs are getting too old. And your only option, if you want to conceive this baby ever, is to get IVF and use donor eggs. But here's the thing, your ovarian reserve can't tell us your chances of getting pregnant right now. So let me explain that a little bit. Unless your levels are so low that you are showing perimenopause signs, you're actually transitioning into menopause, then yes, I would agree that time is running out. However, most women who are showing low AMH levels are cycling regularly. They are showing no signs of perimenopause and losing their cycle. And sure, time may be of the essence, but to jump into treatments with donor eggs, that's a little bit suspicious. So I want you to picture a gumball machine as your ovary and the individual gumballs as your eggs. The AMH test is testing how many gumballs you have left to dispense. But what it's not testing is the quality of each one of those gumballs. So you might have a low AMH number and thousands of eggs left. But the important question to ask is, of those eggs, are they high quality? Because in the end, it's not going to matter how many eggs you have left if they aren't of high quality in order to fertilize and carry to full term. So my point being is that egg reserve is only one part of the conception process. You also need the quality of that egg and sperm in order to have a healthy fertilization conception process. And I've seen this happen with so many of my clients. They really focus in on that AMH level and get so caught up in fear and stress, activating their HPA axis and causing a lot of oxidative stress in their body, which ultimately decreases the quality of their eggs. So again, I can't reiterate this enough. If you have been told that you have low ovarian reserve or diminishing egg reserve, this is not something to hang your hat on and get really scared and rush into treatments. Instead, I really want you to look into how can you preserve the quality of your eggs while maximizing the quality of the eggs that you currently have. Not only are you going to drastically increase your chance of conceiving your baby naturally, but you are also going to drastically increase your chance of conceiving through IVF if that is the treatment option that you decide to go down in the future. Because IVF isn't a magic bullet, especially if you're wanting to use your own eggs. We want to maximize the egg quality. Now, I have an incredibly in-depth video on how to improve your egg quality, and you can click over that at the very end of this video, but just hang on tight for a second while I go over the causes of low ovarian reserve, because you're going to want to eliminate these factors as much as possible. So the very first cause of low ovarian reserve is going to be the obvious one, and that is age. Yes, there's a correlation with increasing age and decreasing AMH levels. This is really only relevant when you're starting to get in really low levels of AMH. If you are someone in the middle range or towards the end of the range, then I want you to know that increasing egg quality needs to be your sole focus. The second thing that reduces AMH is pollution, cigarette smoke, toxins in your body. This is because your follicles, when they're developing, are exposed to your blood circulation. So if you have these things in your body, they are definitely going to be infiltrating your follicles. And it has been shown that these toxins can absolutely affect the maturation of these follicles and thus affect the AMH levels. The third thing is stress. Fear, worry. And this is so common when we receive diagnosis like this, especially when we're told that we can't have children or our eggs are running out or we need IVF and donor eggs. These are big decisions. And when we receive that kind of news, it is like an imprint and trauma on our nervous system that can keep our HPA axis running on autopilot. This increased amount of stress absolutely causes a lot of oxidative stress on the body, on your follicles, on your eggs, and thus can decrease AMH levels. And then the fourth is just when you're testing AMH during your cycle. AMH is naturally going to be higher in the first part of your cycle because that is when your follicles are starting to mature. AMH tends to be lower in the luteal phase. So if you have been tested for low AMH and it was in the luteal phase, then you want to get that test redone during the follicular phase. In fact, some of my clients have actually gotten 3 tests of AMH over a 3-month period, and they were all drastically different. So that's just more proof to you that don't hang your hat up on an AMH level. And if your doctor is only worried about that AMH number and hasn't advised you towards any other nutritional or lifestyle activities that could increase your egg quality and increase your chances of conceiving on your own with your own eggs, then in my opinion, he's doing you a great disservice, keeping you in fear and rushing you through IVF treatments that you may not need. So I just want to reiterate that yes, egg reserve testing is important, but not without the context. It's just one piece of the fertility puzzle. Now, are there going to be situations where time is of the essence? Of course. And that is why we can't use a one-size-fits-all medicine, because you are an individual and you have unique psychological, environmental, and nutritional factors all playing together, which is why you need a holistic practitioner to piece all of these things pieces together for you and really show you and guide you a path towards increased fertility that gives you the power and gives you the treatment protocol that best fits you. For an in-depth look on how to increase your egg quality with the eggs that you have left, check out this video now, and you are going to be blown away by the depth and detail of the steps that you can take right now. As always, you can find more about Holistic Fertility Method in the description below. Otherwise, I will see you next time.